Hello, Nomads, and welcome to the catch-up episode, January 23 edition. I had to think about the year.
Feels weird to say that.
New year, baby.
It does. Yeah, 2023. Coming off of the holiday rush, I feel like Game Pass has totally slowed down, and there's just a lot of TV shows that have come out, and I think we've all dabbled with these things. But who am I here with? I'm here with Eric.
What up, gamers?
And Dave.
Hi, diddly ho, nomad neighbors.
My name is Brandon, the host of this episode. Man, I actually went through a lot of things. I'll kick us off here.
All right, what are you going to complain about this
Please.
one?
It's
What's your
Let's
issue?
kick it off.
Oh, okay. Let's start with it.
We always start
God
with
damn
it.
it.
We
I
always
know
start
what
with
it
it.
is.
Too. It's good.
I haven't had it on my mind in days, and now I'm getting furious.
Bringing back
Oh,
old
no.
memories.
Oh, I know what's coming.
Yeah.
Yep, I know what's coming. Too.
Yes, it's Willow. I thought Pinocchio was the worst thing I saw from Disney, or just in general from the last year. It's Willow. That show was hot
sad.
trash.
Willow,
And
no.
It is a shame that they did. I'll just say my little piece and then we'll move on, because people might like it, and I'm not here to like bash that. I'm just saying from my perspective. Nobody really watched Willow. I mean, maybe they did, but nobody was like rewatching it and loving it. I don't think so. I don't.
We
hear
did.
people talk about it.
Yeah, I like that.
But like it was, when you hear fantasy, you think of Star Wars, you think of Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter. Nobody's throwing out Willow, right? It was like a one and done kind of movie, and that was it. Anyways, those of us that were young didn't know any better, and it was a very impressionable movie. We enjoyed it. We thought it was a great movie. It was a fun movie, and it is. And all these years, no sequel, no, nothing, and we finally get Disney Plus to say, hey, we're gonna roll out all these shows, and by the way, one of them is gonna be Willow, and they eventually roll out a trailer, and it looks super adventurous and all that stuff. I'm like, okay.
I was hyped by the look of the trailer.
This looks
I mean,
good.
Mm-hmm.
if you listen to our Willow episode, I was, I liked it. I thought I had fun with the movie, but I wasn't like head over
think they
heels with it.
teased
But the trailer for the show looked great.
The trailer looked great, and honestly, the show visually does look good. If you didn't have the sound on, but looking at it, yeah, it's fine. It's the dumbest show. The worst writing, the music. I cannot believe that they play just modern music, like out of nowhere. Guitar and vocals just come in, and
Oh, that's weird.
and it's not even about Willow. I don't think it's about Willow at all. He's just kind of there. It's not his show. It should have been called Allura. It's about Allura. I don't know who this show was for. I watched the whole show, and just because I've been waiting for Willow content for so long, and I like Warwick Davis. So
Was Warwick
I was
Davis
just let
good in
down
the
by
show
this.
at all? Like, did they give him
no, he's
some
stiff as a board.
spotlights? Really?
And the writing is constant joke material. It's just joke after joke. There's never a serious moment.
Yeah, it's like that.
ever.
That's that new age Disney stuff with that Marvel and Star
It's
Wars.
like a cartoon.
They cram that shit in there. That type of humor.
It's just like a cartoon. If it was a cartoon, I wouldn't think any different. But seeing it in live action, and the production they put into it, the trailer that they rolled out, told me a different story was coming, and it's not this. It's just teen shit.
When you told me
horrible
they
jokes.
didn't reuse the Willow theme, that was like, I'm like, oh,
Dude,
that's
they
a
don't
red
full on do it.
flag.
People say it's like hidden in there or something like that, and maybe it is. But
Sure, it's somewhere, but it's
You
not.
gotta you gotta put that front and center. That's a classic mainstay of the old movies.
Mhm.
Even like during like a fighting scene or some action scene or whatever. But
I think well.
No, you know what they do? They play a rock song. I kid you not.
Well, listen.
A rock song with drums, guitar, and bass. I shit you not. Like, this is the time you're supposed to play. Somebody should recut it. Fucking take that shit and
Well,
redo the music and
get
put
it.
in like proper
I haven't
soundtrack in it.
I haven't seen the show, but this is what I'm assuming and what I'm picking up from you, is that they just tried to play both sides, and it didn't work, and they fell in the middle where the people who love the original movie, they tried to cater to that a little bit, and then they tried to cater to people who are just discovering Willow to the first time. They fell in the middle, and then it didn't appeal to anybody.
It's just like I want to say to the people behind the show, it's like not every show has to be for everybody. Why don't you make a show of all the 40-year-old people out there, give or take age, but just saying on average, like the people who were there when they were a kid when they saw it. Like there's a lot of them out there, and they'll like buy the merchandise, and if you make a good show for them, great. And if you want to make a show about Allura for like a younger generation, then do it. But do that. Don't mix them. Don't mix them. Like you said, don't mix the because there's like an identity crisis, and it's who is it really for? Because it wasn't for me, and I don't know, maybe
It's kind of
I
like
guess the illustration like
kind of like
but
Andor. Like Andor was for like the older, more serious like Star Wars fans, as opposed to
point.
the movies that are filled with like Ewoks and lightsaber fights and Like Andor is like a
and it's adored.
political heist movie and like or show. That certainly doesn't cater to everybody. So that's
Yeah.
you know
It's the trap you fall into with those like legacy reboots. Who do you make it for? You make it for the people who love the original when it came out, or do you make it
the
for a new
kids.
generation? Yeah, exactly.
make it for the kids because then they're gonna get old and then you're gonna be able to reboot it then again.
Exactly. Yep.
And they can sucker us in, but I don't know. I saw the first episode. It looks pretty. It was weird seeing like the build out of the universe a bit, where like you see the queen and the king and you learn about courts and like it's just the first episode, so you're just kind of getting an overview of it. But in the movie, you don't really get any of that. It's just like adventure time. Go. I don't know.
No.
We'll see. I'll watch some more of it, but I'm
Just
not looking
please watch
forward
it
to
until the troll episode when the trolls. Remember the trolls from the movie?
Yeah, they're like hairy little.
They just
Yeah.
and they just
Men.
yell at you. No, they are Saturday Night Live talking guys. They're
Oh,
like,
God.
well, hey, what happened here? How did they escape? Well, surely that can't be right. What did you do? Did you see this? Me? They talk like normal people. I'm like, what? How is this? How is
That's
this
fucking weird.
the same
Yeah, they were
world?
like wild animals in the first one.
Yeah. I don't know. I was excited that they would redesign them, actually, make them look, whatever. Please watch. I'll edit in a soundbite.
We may have some instigators on our hands, possibly even rabble rousers.
I deplore those who rouse rabble.
We know, sir. I've dispatched a sentinel unit to the distillery.
No. It's their friends. They've come to liberate them. Oh, Lord Ganon is here! Terrible at anticipating the second half of my sentences.
Well,
All right, we need a taste. We need.
I was
a
gonna
taste
say
break.
I can segue us in that. I had a couple shows that I, on contrast, have really really enjoyed. If you have been following us for a long time, you know that I have been slowly working my way through the Clone Wars, and I finally finished it.
Did you finish it?
I finally finished
How many
it.
seasons?
7, I
Ooh,
believe.
okay. That's a lot.
Yeah, so like the final season they just came out with, in 2020, I think, or 2021, somewhere around there. But man, that final season is fantastic. And like I told you guys, but if you never watch anything else of the Clone Wars, watch the final 3 episodes, because it is some of the best Star Wars content that's out there.
I've heard really good
It's
things.
it's
Yeah.
incredible. I was
Okay.
getting emotional towards the end. Like it was really, really good. Like not a
Maybe
lot of
we'll do an episode on those episodes.
it's man,
episodes.
really good. But after that, I started The Bad Batch, which is basically a direct sequel to the Clone Wars, and that's also really, really good. The new season just came out there. I'm almost done with season 1, so I'm gonna roll
kinda
into
where I'm
season
at.
2 for that.
Seems
You've been
pretty
watching
good.
Bad Batch?
Yeah, a little bit here and there.
Oh,
As I'm like
interesting.
taking down Christmas decorations and just throwing something up.
I was
some
curious.
kinda-
Well, I guess you don't need to have seen the Clone Wars, but I think it gives you more context of kind of what's going on.
Yeah, it's just
with
a
some of the
general time
characters. Yeah, in Bad Batch, but you don't need to have seen it. But yeah, I'm really happy that I finished Clone Wars. There's a lot of filler throughout there, but I watched every single episode, and even the bad ones were still fun, and I'm glad that I finally knocked that out, because that was definitely on my list of Star Wars things that I wanted
your
to
Star Wars
finally
bucket
watch.
list.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I got the Bad Batch, and I also want to go through Rebels, because I've heard also really, really good things about Rebels.
Right.
Well, if we're going to talk TV shows, I guess I do have one too. A little taste breaker that I needed to get in after we watched Alice in Borderlands. I started watching just randomly. 'cause
Squid
a
Game.
guy-
No, I'm just kidding.
A guy at work told me that it was good. But Miracle Workers, it was a TBS show, and they now have it on HBO. At least the first season. The first 3 seasons are on HBO, and I think season 4 just came out. That might still be on TBS, but the main people you'll know is Daniel Radcliffe, Harry Potter, and Steve Buscemi.
Okay.
And it is like a kind of not irreverent comedy, but it's like a tongue-in-cheek kind of comedy where Steve Buscemi is God, and he has a whole bunch of workers that work in heaven for him, Heaven Incorporated, and he's got people that are in charge of miracles and kind of, you see what a shit show heaven is kind of run as. It's like disorganized and people are running everywhere, and Steve Buscemi's like a really dumb version of the dude from The Big Lebowski, which makes it even more hilarious because he's God.
He's in The Big Lebowski.
Oh, yeah, also. But no, Daniel Radcliffe plays like a miracle worker that's like in charge of answering people's prayers, and then I don't know, throughout the season. The season's only 8 or 10 episodes long, and the episodes are only like 20 minutes long. So you can rip through it in like 2 or 3 nights. I've been kind of going through it, but they end up they make a bet with God, and then they just
cool.
through the season they have to kind of go through and try and win the bet. So
I was gonna say I'll probably check that out because I like. Have you either of you seen The Good Place?
I've seen like
Try watching that show.
It's fun.
Watch like
it's good.
most of the first season.
But like shows like that or Bruce Almighty, something things that fuck with the concept of like heaven and hell and stuff are always fun to me. Like make it out of comedies out of it. So yeah, that sounds cool.
I don't know if this is a spoiler really, but essentially like each season is its own separate thing. So like first season kind of takes place at like now times, but season 2 takes place during the Dark Ages. Season 3 happens on the Oregon Trail. Season 4 is
That's cool.
post-apocalyptic, whatever, and they're just trying to. I don't know what the hell happens in the other seasons. I'm assuming they're answering people's prayers, but it is. There was a couple of laugh out loud moments throughout this short season, and watched it with the wife, and she actually very much enjoyed it as well. So
that sounds like a good wife show for sure.
It's gonna come as a Nomad recommendation. So hopefully they're still putting out seasons. I know I think they just released season 4 recently. So. Oh, I guess it's TBA. Season 3 just came out in 2021, so they must be moving through them. So that was, I don't know, it was good. It was a good taste breaker after watching people murder each other.
Did have either of you watched the show White Lotus?
No, I've seen we were talking about ads for it on HBO all the time.
So I saw some buzz about the second season, but I watched the first season with my wife. It's good. Both got into it. It's like a mature, dark comedy dramedy, I guess.
Dramedy
for adults. Just rich upper class white people is like the theme, and like their problems, and they all go to a resort in Hawaii called the White Lotus, and I guess like the second season's at a White Lotus, but it's in Italy. Different cast. One of the characters transitions, Jennifer Coolidge, Stifler's mom, that actress. She's actually in both seasons, but just interesting characters. And they all kind of cross paths and all this stuff. But I think, I would watch it with your significant other.
What's that on?
HBO.
Okay,
that's where I watched it.
Everything's on HBO.
Yeah, this Last of Us just dropped, and I haven't had time. I want to dedicate. I'm trying to get my wife to watch it. I want to watch.
Okay, well,
first episode.
I kind of gave away what happens, in the beginning, and my wife was like, "No, I'm not watching that." I'm like, well,
no, don't spoil it for me either, because I never finished the first game.
Did you start it?
Yeah.
Well, then you know what happens in the beginning.
Oh,
yeah.
The thing.
Joel's backstory is put out in like the first opening act, I would say, for sure.
But yeah, I definitely want to.
yeah.
I definitely want to check that out.
Right? Good things, man. Good
I mean, it's one of my
things.
favorite games of all time. Like, it's definitely in my at least top 10 games of all time. So
It's interesting, dude. It's interesting because, well, yeah. Not that we can talk about that probably on its own episode.
Glass Onion. We all watched Glass Onion, right?
Yeah.
We did.
What'd you
That we
guys
did.
think?
Fun.
It was good.
Yes.
Not
A lot
great.
more-
It was really good, though. It was fun.
A lot more fun, a lot more jokey, and, kind of breezy than the first one, I would say.
Just characters were so cartoonish.
Yeah.
Where I know you're not supposed to like the first family, whether the Thornberrys or whatever, but
Something like that, yeah.
but I liked some of the characters. I liked Jamie Lee Curtis's character.
Mm-hmm.
I felt kind of bad for her in a little bit. So this cast, these people, none of them are likable, really. I guess I don't want to ruin anything if anybody hasn't seen it yet. But there's there's a character that is likable, but obviously you like the main character.
Right.
Yeah, she's all right.
I don't know.
No, it's
I
hard not
enjoyed it. I enjoyed it overall. Like, it's a fun watch. Fun is a great word for it. I don't think it was as smart as the first movie.
No.
Nowhere near. I mean, if you consider this a spoiler, there's a twist in the movie, and I thought the twist was, it was pretty good. It was well done, but I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan of the ending. It kind of fell flat a little bit for me. I'm trying not to be too spoily, but
A little bit, yeah.
just general impressions. But overall, I liked it. General consensus out there seems to be like everybody liked it, but it wasn't as good as the first one.
That's
Yeah.
accurate, I'd say. But
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to repeat the same trick twice. It's like seeing a magician do the same trick, and you're looking for the holes, you're looking for the connections and stuff, and I don't know if you're really gonna make them here without knowing like
I was gonna
the
say,
twists and stuff. But it's a fun ride.
going off that, like, I appreciate that they tried to do something a little bit different with it. They didn't just try to do the same exact tricks they did in the first one. But I don't know, it just didn't work out quite as well as the original.
I got one that I finished up. I got a game I finished, clearing out that damn backlog.
Ooh, good for you.
Disco Elysium: The Final Cut.
You finished Disco Elysium? Isn't that game like
Finished it.
100,000 hours or something?
No, it's not 100,000 hours.
I thought it was a really long game.
No, it's just it may seem long because it's
Well-
it's a very narrative game.
Yeah. A lot of reading then, yeah.
Well, that's the thing, is that there is no reading in this. It's all voice. Every single line.
Oh,
that I
right. Well,
saw
that-
is
that I
completely
like.
Voice acted.
That I like. Well, that is just with the, like, director's cut, though, right? I don't think the
Yes.
original game had that.
Main story, How Long to Beat, says 22 hours.
Okay, so decent.
So it's not too bad. Which, I mean, if there wasn't the voice acting, I would have a hard time recommending this because it is a lot. It would be more like a novel with like some video game elements tied to it.
Right.
Because it is all narrative, and you're essentially like taking the role of like a piece of shit, deadbeat, drug addict cop. Like what was that show on HBO with Matthew McConaughey?
Oh, what the fuck was that called? The show that everybody was obsessed with? I know exactly what you're talking about. I was gonna say
True Detective is the name.
True
of this
Detective. That's what I'm. Yep, True Detective.
Where he's having like a hard time holding his life together. He's kind of a fucked up druggie. I still haven't seen that show, which I may have to do that now after playing this. But you're kind of taking that role in this game,
Overrated.
and you're a lot of talking to people, and you kind of like the RPG elements is you have like different like subconscious personas in your brain where it's like I don't know how to explain it. Like the different personalities in your brain and different strengths and weaknesses of your personality. And that's basically the role-playing part of this whole game. There's, walking around the map and talking to people and finding stuff, and you're, solving a murder. Spoiler alert. But, no, there's some funny parts in it. There's a lot of dialogue, so, it did take me a while to beat because sometimes you're just not in the mood to do a lot of reading or just discussing with people. It's got like socioeconomic, like takes on communism, and like it's deeper than just like a story. Like there's like some meaning behind it. It's got,
Right.
I don't know, I want to say it's a bit depressing, but it's kind of, you got to be in a certain mood to play it, I guess. It's not like a really cheery, upbeat game, but it is, for a narrative game, it is pretty fucking great if you like those kind of games. Talking to just, a lot of choices to be made, a lot of different endings. There's like a billion lines of dialogue in this game. Some of the voice actors like that are in your head are actually really good, because all of your subconscious thoughts are basically like different characters, which it's a weird fucking take, and it's a weird fucking game, but it's good.
I appreciate like when there's a ton of dialogue.
It is, yeah, there is kind of a lot, I'll say.
I've noticed the games I've been just going in and out of. Like I noticed you've been playing High on Life, right? That has a ton of dialogue in it. It's a fun game, a ton of dialogue in it. And then I've been replaying Shadow of Mordor, right? I don't know, we're watching like the Hobbit movies and Lord of the Rings movies as a family, and just watch so I'm into it, and I'm like, oh, I want to go back to that game and kind of grind through the end game and that. But so much dialogue with that Nemesis system, and I just love that Nemesis system. But I just appreciate when a game can just record so much dialogue. Like, man, you can just stand here and listen to these characters go on and on and on and on and on and on. I'm like, my God.
They're saying that the script for Disco Elysium is over 1 million words long, and I think this guy is the main guy that's like the thought in your head. Actor Levenel Brown spent 8 months recording 350,000 lines of dialogue for Disco Elysium, which is about a third of the game. So,
Wow.
multiply that by 3, you get your billion. So,
Man.
Crazy.
it's an interesting one. I would definitely recommend it. You did mention High on Life too. Did you guys both play that as well?
I played the
still working through
first hour or so of it, but now with all the Justin Roiland shit, I don't know if I really want to
It makes
go
it a
back
little
to
weird,
it.
but
It makes it weird to go back to, but
Yeah.
I wasn't really enjoying the game that much anyway, so it was.
do you like
it was
Rick and
fun.
Morty?
I've never watched it.
Okay, I'll say
That's
it's
just
that
funny.
kind of humor. But that is another one that I played and finished over the holiday break. I don't think that took me terribly long. It's a lot towards the end. It starts to get a little. That sense of humor starts to get a little annoying, or like I think it might just be the voice actors start to get annoying, because a lot of them. What's the guy's name? Justin Roiland or whatever. He voices a lot of them, and a lot of the characters like sound exactly the same, which is kind of weird. Like, and it's got that weird like cadence to like all the talking,
that
like
stuttering.
I don't know, man. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Like that kind of.
Yeah.
A lot of cursing for the sake of cursing, and
Yeah, I don't
there's
know
an
if I
option
could've made
to
it through
in the
that whole game.
settings to minimize that though.
It's true.
oh, just the chatter.
That is nice.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, I played like the first I don't know, hour or two, and like I didn't hate my time with it, but I just
No.
have no desire to go back to it.
It's pretty funny. It was
I
a
think it's pretty
surprisingly
good.
solid shooter. Like I was kind of
Yeah.
surprised at like.
It's different.
Really?
Shakes
I
up
thought
the
I don't know.
genre.
I don't think the
you
shooting
know.
mechanics were anything special or feel good. Didn't really feel good.
It's just
To
you know
me.
you got guns and you got alt fires. It's that's pretty much every shooter these days. But some of the combinations of the guns where like the pistol shoots the glob, you get a guy that's like a grenade launcher, but he's launching little babies that come out of his body,
Yeah, dude.
and then they attack people, which is fucking weird and creepy because he squeezes them out of his body, like out of his back. It's like he's birthing it, but he makes open comments about how you're shooting his babies, and he's like, "Oh, it's okay, I'll make some more." It's just like weird.
Just
That's
to
weird and
clarify,
fucked up.
in case you don't know what we're talking about, High on Life,
Oh,
crazy game.
thank you.
But yes, like you as a human being, your planet is just attacked by aliens out of nowhere, and you just get thrown into this crazy galactic, I don't know what you are, agent, I guess, hunting down these bosses. But as you fight these other aliens, you come across these weapons, and these weapons have personalities. And
Gatlings?
They're just constantly talking, and they're silly. They're what are they called?
I think Gatlings, I want to say.
Gatlings, yeah. So they're all different. They all have different abilities and stuff like that. I think that's the draw of the game. I think if you can get into those and enjoy, then it's fun
Oh, yeah.
when you do get a new one.
Like, you got
But yeah, the abilities, the combos are pretty legit.
JB
The level
Smooth
design's
is a
good.
shotgun.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
JB Smooth is one of the fucking.
I like
best
him
ones.
out a lot. Yeah.
I think the voice sounded super familiar. I had to look it up, but I think it's Sarah Silverman's younger sister. Because I'm like, that sounds a lot like Sarah
That's funny.
Silverman, but it's not Sarah Silverman. But
yeah,
it's-
voice acting's pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, the production's good. Like, it's actually pretty good. You would want to rate it off at that. This is just for jokes and it's not gonna be taken serious. But I think the South Park team kind of set a good bar. Where like, hey, we're comedians, but we're also passionate about our craft, and they made
those games
too
are
good. Game. Yeah, they could have phoned it in. You could see people how they phoned it in, but no, they actually made good games. And it's nice to see that this game actually isn't trash. It's like I would give it probably an 8. An 8.
Yeah,
You know,
7, 8.
nothing. It's not game changing. Like it's not or genre changing or anything like that. It's not evolving anything, but it's showing comedy, actually, like good comedy in a game.
Yeah,
Which is
I will
tough.
say that it's hard
Really
to pull
tough.
off. Yeah, it's hard to pull off comedy in a video game. It's hard to pull off comedy, period, in any medium. So, if you can pull it off in a game, that's definitely an accomplishment. Well,
I don't.
oh, sorry, I didn't want to change the subject. If you weren't.
No,
done
I was
yet.
about to send it over to one of you guys. What else you guys got?
Well, I was gonna say you're burying the lead, Dave. Since last time we did a catch up, you got a PlayStation 5.
That is also true. I keep falling asleep while I play it because I play. I got the God of War bundle for Christmas, and it's God of War is it's the same thing as the 2018 one. That one was a super good game, and this one kind of is rinse, wash, and repeat. Seeing Kratos as a father is super cool to kind of see like the evolution of a character.
Yeah,
But no,
I-
it's good. It's fun. I'm playing on the couch laying down. I think that's why I keep falling asleep. I gotta because it's in the living room because I want to encourage the kids to play with it. So
Well, the
keep it
cadence.
there.
I mean, I played the first. I haven't played as much of Ragnarok as I would have wanted to by now. I played like only the first 3 hours or so. But I mean, like you said, it's the same cadence as the first game where you'll have a big action sequence and then you'll be walking along slowly talking to Atreus to get more story.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll do another action sequence, and then after that you'll launch into a cutscene, so you're watching, there's a lot of dialogue and a lot of I can see how you could fall asleep during that.
Yeah. You just feel it creeping in on you during a cutscene. You're like, oh no, I'm not gonna make it through the next one. And, it happens.
Yeah.
But it's sweet. I don't know. Like the PlayStation 5 in general. Like I don't see it as a crazy improvement over the Xbox. I don't see it because it is the better selling console. But like, I think that's just because people like the single player experiences on
It's
that.
the games. It's the games.
Totally the games.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
The console looks like
some of the best ever made.
Yeah, the console looks
You
like
can
a
only
giant
play them there.
modem from 1998, like sitting at, no, maybe 2002. It looks like a giant modem. Yeah, right in the background there.
Hey, what do you think of that controller? How's the PlayStation 5 controller?
It
Oh,
is
did
nice.
you play?
The tap-
did you
the
play Astro's
touchscreen on it is great.
Astro's Playroom yet?
A little bit. My kid has got
Oh, you need to
cover
play that.
cover on that.
You need to play that game because that shows off like the capabilities and like what the DualSense can do. Like it's really impressive.
Like the having like different sides of the little tap screen. I don't know what it's called on the controller, but
Yeah, the touchpad or yeah.
having the
touchpad.
mic and speakers in the controller is super nice. Like, cause you can tie a lot of immersion into that by having things come out of your controller.
One thing you got to know about the mic though, if you're playing an online game, you got to make sure you mute it because it's on by default.
Oh,
There's a mute button right on the controller, and if you press that, it'll mute it. But
okay.
it's always on by default, so just remember that.
All
And I
right.
think you can turn that off in the settings, but that was kind of a weird thing that came out when the PlayStation 5 first came out. But
So you'd be playing a game and not knowing people are listening to you. And
right, exactly. Yep.
What
Yeah,
else
I
you
don't.
guys got?
I was gonna say I don't have much else. I've been playing Hot Wheels Unleashed with
Ooh, how is that?
with William, with my son, and it's good. It's really fun. It's like a really, really solid arcade racing game, and it's really cool because all the cars are like actual Hot Wheels cars models that exist, you know. So like they're really high quality models, and you can like inspect that. So you know, it's cool because with William, he's starting to get into Hot Wheels a little bit more, and like he has some of the ones in the game, so he's like, oh, I have that one, I have that one. I'm like,
That's
yeah,
sweet.
but yeah, it's cool. You can customize them any way you want. You could build your own tracks. Obviously, I mean, it's a Hot Wheels game. That's the whole point of Hot Wheels, is to build your own tracks. You can, you know, play community tracks online. There's a whole campaign, and you're unlocking like there's hundreds and hundreds of cars you can unlock. So it's actually really fun.
They got a lot of
made.
DLC for that too, don't they?
They have like 10 different DLC packs.
I thought I saw a lot.
We bought the Hot Wheels monster truck pack. That was like $8 or something. But yeah, they have like 3 different expansions. There's like a Batman expansion with all like the Batman Hot Wheels cars. There's a Looney Tunes expansion as well. So there's a lot of content in that game, and it's actually really fun.
That's cool. I heard the racing was just really fun in it, which I haven't played yet. But
Like I
is it
said,
like a
it's
Mario Kart
solid.
kind of racing?
It's more like feels more like a Burnout.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Like an old school Burnout. You're drifting to build up boost and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, there's different like hazards and shit, boulders falling down.
They build in like
Boost
elements of Hot Wheels, like those little spinny things that like shoot the cars out or whatever.
There are I mean, there's loops up the wazoo. There's fucking giant spiders shooting webs at you. There's giant dinosaur heads and stuff. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
that's awesome. All right.
They put a lot of effort into that game. It's really
What are you guys playing on?
PlayStation 5
Okay.
because it was free with PlayStation Plus one of the months. That's how I
Ooh.
picked it up. So
That's a good pull.
yep.
Good on PlayStation.
So yeah, that's a really fun one. That was about all I had. I dabbled a little bit in Celeste. I don't know if either of you guys have played that
I
game.
played that.
A little bit.
Yeah, it's good.
It's tough, for sure, but
Yeah.
it's really rewarding when you can figure out how to get past, or get, because you're collecting the little strawberries. Those are like the extra collectibles. So when you figure out how to get one of those after like 10 tries, that's always fun and addictive. But I've been playing that as kind of like a cool down game after a gaming session. Like I'll throw that on and play it for like half hour or something. But that's a fun one too.
Nice.
Retro. I know. I got one last thing. It's Vampire Survivors.
Oh, Vampires,
yeah.
yeah. You've been playing a lot of that,
Getting
huh?
in there.
Playing a lot. I've been finding some mystery rooms, which is kind of cool. Like going to an area and like going up to a mirror and then finding another room and then like finding a character in there. And
Oh.
I've been
that's
jamming
cool.
on it with my kids. I've gotten so many unlocks that my character is so powerful off the bat that like my 4-year-old can pick it up and play. And he got to like level 58 or something like that.
Damn.
I was like, dude, good for you.
That's cool.
And you get a lot of money for more unlocks.
Yeah, that's cool.
So
Just that stick,
been
one
hot.
stick. That's all you need. Like
It
it's
is.
simple
So
as a
it's-
screwdriver.
Genius, yeah.
you just move your character around, and then the weapons that you pick up, you pick up orbs, and you can choose what upgrade you want, and then the upgrade automatically does something.
Mm-hmm.
But it shoots for you. It does all these things for you. It protects you, all this stuff, and you just gotta move around and collect gems and collect hearts. It's great.
I've seen
the
people in
kids love
like
it.
late game where you're not even playing the game. You're just sitting there and letting everything happen. Like, you don't even have to move around at a certain point because you're just killing so many things. Per
You
second.
can evolve your weapons, and then they get
I know.
really big.
Yeah,
and
those
they
are
turn red and
really cool.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
super cool. Mm-hmm. Yep, it's fun. Oh, you know what else? I bought that Ghostbusters game,
Oh yeah.
Have you played it at all?
Spirits Unleashed. Yeah, I was just playing it right before hopping on here to record.
I was gonna say, are you playing with like random people online?
Yeah, playing. Yeah, it's like it's a 4v1.
Is that asymmetrical
Kinda
multiplayer?
Yeah, it's fun. It's definitely for like fans of Ghostbusters. I feel like the gameplay is it's not bad, but it's like the weakest part of it. Well, it's not the weakest part of it, but it's whatever. It's like a $40 game. I got it for like $25. I would say if it's $15-$20, if you're a fan of Ghostbusters, get it. But the gameplay is, after doing a few rounds, you're done, kind of thing. But it looks good. It really does look good.
Really?
The controls are tight. It's just like what you're doing after a while, like just going around, looking for shit moving, and then you zap it, and then everybody zaps a ghost, and you just stare at the screen while you zap it, and then you want to throw out your thing to catch it. It's cool to watch, but when you're playing gameplay wise, you can only do that so much. So the other activities they give you to do is there'll be people, like let's say it's in a museum. There's patrons in the museum. You have to go to the people and calm them down. So you hold down X, and you see a circle go across, and then like as long as you don't let go, then their heart will go from like red to like green. They'll be happy and they'll stay. It's a little weird management stuff like that. But you can hit right trigger at certain points during that to boost the person. It's like is this fun?
Quick time event.
I want more mystery. Make it a big deal to find a ghost. It's like you walk in, you can kind of see the pink ass ghost there. But like I sound like I'm knocking it, but it's fun. It's got a charm to it. The graphics are great. It's right after the last movie. It's all that stuff like that. It's continuing that story.
I was wondering if there was any actual like story to the game.
Yeah, a little bit right now. Winston just got possessed by a ghost that I accidentally let out. So they try to do stuff around a multiplayer based game. But there's some things that happen between just hanging. It's cool going to the station and walking around and seeing Ray there and Winston there and all that stuff. Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed.
I'll keep an eye on that for a sale, because that's
it'd be great if it was on Game Pass.
Yeah, because that would probably up the game, the number of people playing at the same time. So
there's actually I have no problems getting any games. No.
Yeah, you want your friends to buy it though.
I was gonna say it's always tough when you trying to sell somebody on a game like, three of us want to play, but three of us have to buy this $40 game.
Yeah. So
that's why everything should just be on Game Pass. All games.
Yeah. I think Game Pass is leaning a lot more indie lately too. They're not getting like the big names on there, but they're getting like a lot of indie stuff on there. So
yeah, because no big games are coming out on Xbox.
What's the last big game that came out on
Xbox?
I mean, God of War Ragnarok, I guess, but that was like 3 or 4 months ago for PlayStation. But
it's also the slow season too.
I missed the Arcade of Summer, but that's a whole nother story. I did have like a quick smattering, and then one final game to talk about.
I've been smatter me, Dave.
Cleaning up Elden Ring. Everybody loves that. SSX is still fucking great. The original, I think it was 360.
Fun.
Like I went back.
That's not the original.
Well, I don't know.
That's the remake. SSX Tricky is the best version.
Well, they play the Tricky
so
song.
Good.
So
no, it's not the same. It's not the same.
I got one
GameCube.
I'm back compat, and it's super good. So definitely recommend that. Finishing up Immortality. Started Alice in Borderland remix comics. Those are good.
Ooh, interesting.
Arisu's back in the Borderlands, bro.
Oh shit.
I don't know how long. I don't think it's
not happily ever after. Huh?
No. I don't think it's gonna be a long like journey in the Borderlands. I think it's pretty quick and easy. But the one I actually picked up that I've been actually liking, I don't think we've talked about this before. Older game called The Witness from 2016. So that makes it 7 years old. So
I never did finish that.
You did play it back when it first came out? Probably?
Yeah, it was weird, man. I remember right before bed, I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to check this game out. I love puzzle games. And just like, I'll do a couple, then I'll go to bed. And it makes you think it's not. I've never played a game like that before.
Well, it's like Myst, like the
are
old Myst games, except it all revolves around like the same kind of puzzle.
Yeah, it's perspective based or something. Like you have to stand in just
some
the right
of
spot.
them are. Well, like there's ones where you gotta like look at branches on a tree to see where an apple is, and you gotta put the line through the puzzle. It's basically you're guiding a dot from a beginning to the end of a puzzle. And then as you go through the game, they're introducing more complexity and more rules to the dot moving through the maze. So you might have to like pick up all the black pellets that are in the maze or whatever to go to the next level. Or they start combining them and stacking them on top of each other, where you might have to pick up the pellets and then go between these two certain colors or separate all the colors from some things. But it's really cool the way that they start super simple and then they build off, because it's the first puzzle is literally just like a bar where you just move it from one spot to the next spot, and then they eventually just get bigger and bigger. So that one will be playing a bit more as long. It's got that weird thing where it makes you feel like an genius at certain times, but it also makes you feel like complete idiot
dumbass.
So, but you get that thing where like you're so focused on a puzzle and you're visualizing where everything's going, and then you finally get it and you feel like that dopamine surge, and you're like, fuck yeah, I am so smart. So
Yep.
it's good. It's very, there's no story really to it. It's all environmental storytelling or stuff like that, and it's, you're looking for
Just gotta be
clues.
awake. Like,
Yeah.
You gotta be. At least I struggled.
Can't
I was
be
like,
too late,
After
yeah.
an hour, I'm like, all right, I'm done.
Can't be too late, can't
I
be too
can't.
drunk, can't be too stoned, because
Yeah.
your brain will not work. So
Hard
no,
to
that's
pull
all.
off
That's all
a
I
good
got.
puzzle game.
It's good to switch up your what you're playing, because going from Elden Ring to SSX to The Witness kind of keeps me fresh, keeps me active. So
Need those taste breakers.
yeah, everybody needs
Mm-hmm.
a good taste breaker now and then. So no, that's all I got. Brandon, you got anything left?
No.
Okay,
Nope. I'm good.
why don't you take us home?
Well, you can follow us at Nomads of Fantasy on Twitter and Instagram. Also, you can follow us at The Nomads of Fantasy on TikTok, since Brandon's been putting some more content, short videos out, some of our podcast clips. Those have been fun. YouTube as well. You can do, now you can do, since YouTube has handles now, you can do youtube.com/@Nomads of Fantasy if you want to find us on YouTube. What else? You can join our Discord at thenomadsoffantasy.com/Discord. You can play our game, whatmapgame.com, if you want to like guessing video game maps. But
That one's still fun. As simple as that is,
Yeah.
it's still fun every day.
play it every day. Yeah, it's fun. But yeah, that's all we got for you this month. We'll catch up with you next month. And as always, safe travels, Nomads.